All right, listen up if you want to avoid looking older as you age. This story is absolutely spot on. This is actually a cousin of Bob's. He's working, and after work, he leaves and he goes into the security office and he's talking to the security man who he knows, and he's looking at videos as they're chatting about the day's events. And he looks at the video and he sees it's a historic video, so it's from before, and he sees someone walking out of his department where he works, and he's walking away, and he looks at him and he says, there is nobody that old that works in our department. I know everyone in there. And the security guard looks at him, kind of chuckles, and he says, that happens to be you. And he was just stunned. And he was posture, his walking old, and he's all hunched over a little bit, walking slow. He had no idea that's how he looked. So there's a few things you can definitely do to avoid that. People are afraid to say, you're looking kind of old looking. There's some things you can maybe do. So the whole point is posture can make a dramatic difference on how you look as well as how your body functions. So we're going to help you out.
We're going to show you a 3-minute stretching exercise routine to help you look younger and not be so hunched over.
That's right. We're going to call it the niche program. Niche, whatever. We're going to explain it, and it's going to help you remember every exercise. You can do it daily easily.
So first we're going to go through the niche or NSH program, but afterwards we're going to show you one simple exercise that actually targets 13 different muscle groups, and it's going to make you look 100% younger.
For sure. It's absolutely guaranteed. It's at the end after the niche exercise. And what does the niche stand for?
I don't remember.
Neck, shoulders, hips. All you have to remember, the exercise for the neck, shoulder, hips, neck, shoulder, hips. They're quick, easy exercises, and they work. First things we need to change is the neck so you don't look droopy, depressed, and all this head forward posture. So it's a simple chin tuck. Bob and I have been doing this exercise for years, but we're going to show you again and how to make it simple to fit in your daily life. Mike, go ahead.
So what you want to do is go up to a wall, and first you'll notice how much of your upper back or neck is touching. If you're like this, you have quite a ways to go. You can see the gap between the wall and my head. If you have good posture, you can easily touch your back of your head and upper shoulders against the wall. If you are stuck in a position like this, we're going to work on chin tuck, so you're basically trying to give yourself a double chin. You're retracting, going backwards. I'm not going up or down.
Right.
Just straight back. Try to get those muscles to work. If you can get here automatically, then you have good posture and don't need to worry about this one.
Well, not exactly, Mike, because you may forget about this when you're thinking about other things. So throughout the day, every 20 minutes to a half hour, I want you to think about up and chin tuck in. You do not have to be against the wall. You can do it while you're at your desk, working on your computer. I do it while I'm driving. I touch my head to the headrest in the back, and I do my chin tucks. Do that at stop sign. People are looking at me in the car next door, and I just wave at them and say, chin tucks. Anyways, seriously, you can do this very simply throughout the day. Takes no time, and it will help with that head forward posture, which, by the way, causes neck pain and shoulder pain as well. You need to eliminate that.
Okay, the next part we're going to look at is the shoulders. If you have a hunched over forward posture, your shoulders are rounded forward, so we want to get them straightened up and stretched out because that can cause tight pec muscles as well, neck pain, headaches, all these issues. So we're going to show you a simple stretch you can do using a doorway.
That's right. Now, this stretch is developed so that you can do it throughout the day. Every time you walk through a doorway, you're going to do this stretch. So all we do is walk over to the door. When it's open, we're going to do the W stretch. Go ahead, Mike. And when you're walking through the door, what are you going to do?
So you're going to grab onto the side of the door frame here. Obviously, I would be on the other side, not touching the door, but there are steps in the way. So what I'm going to do is make a W shape like this. I'm resting my forearms from my elbow to my hand on the door frame. Once you get in here, I'm going to lean my upper body forward, get more of a stretch on my front pec muscles here in front shoulder, and this will help the forward shoulders get back into a straight position. And just hold this here for a few seconds, and then you can walk through.
That's right. Do that once or twice every time you walk through. One little thing to remember. We got the N, we got the S, but don't forget the N, the neck, while you're doing this. So, Mike, can you go through it with your head forward? Yeah, don't allow that. Remember the end, bring it back where it belongs so you maintain. We're working down. And now, there you go. Now, when you get through and you've done that stretch, we're going to simply go like this and strengthen the muscles and do 2 or 3 reps like that. So, in the doorway, 2 or 3 stretches, walking through, go like this. If you feel pretty self-conscious about the W, just simply do this with your arms down. You're definitely going to feel taller. You're going to look taller, and you actually are going to be taller compared to this. So you're going to look taller, look younger, feel better, breathe better, and now we need to go to the H, the hips. Now the next big area is the hips, and you may wonder why the hips. We call them hip flexors. They're deep in. When they get tight, if you happen to have a job that you sit a lot every day, drive a lot, or you just watch TV sitting a lot, these muscles tighten up and they pull forward, pulls your hips and low back forward, which essentially gets your body and head forward. Go ahead, Mike is demonstrating that right now. So if you're like that, and this is exactly what David was looking at as he's watching himself walk away, this forward posture, unaware of it completely without actually seeing it. So tight muscles here. We're going to show you some simple stretches you can do throughout the day, and that's going to help you stay upright at the hip area. So a simple, I call it extension and standing or back bends. Go ahead, Mike.
So you can place your hands on your hips if you would like to, and if you're not too stiff, try to straighten up and push backwards, even going the opposite direction if possible. Now, some people will be very tight and not able to get there. Slowly just work your way up into stretching that. We'll show another option here you can also try, but it's basically just hinging backwards at your hips and then extending, going the opposite direction to loosen these muscles up.
There you go. Now, if you feel uncomfortable bending backwards like this, like you're going to lose your balance, go ahead, Mike, show the trick for that.
So you can go to a countertop behind you. Obviously, this is a little short for me. Most of them are about waist level, depending upon your height. You can simply rest against that and then go backwards. It's kind of nice because you have a little support in your back, and oftentimes if it's up here, it's kind of you know where to hinge.
Yes. Another little trick that I've done with many patients and used it myself is simply take a belt or a towel roll, put it around your hip level, whatever level feels comfortable, and support and arch backwards. It can really help out and give you a little leverage, and it feels great. Okay, now the second option.
Another option to stretch the hip flexor is actually to do a lunging motion because the leg that is going backwards will get a nice hip flexor stretch. For a beginner, you could certainly place something on the floor that is soft to protect the knee. I'm going to be stretching my left leg right now, so I could just go down into a lunging position. If you want to do repetitions, you certainly can. If you just want to sit down here, you can sit down here and stretch forward like this. This really gets that hip flexor back.
I think you're kneeling down, not sitting.
I'm kneeling down, not sitting.
Yeah, use a pillow, whatever. I like doing this one as well. It's a little more cumbersome or takes a little more detail than the first one, so work them both as you need.
For this, you're going to have to work both sides, so simply switch legs, and you can go the opposite direction and stretch this way. Now, if you're really advanced and you don't want to use that and do repetitions, you can't even go like this. This really stretches. This is a bend Patrick knees over toes exercise, but this really stretches that back hip flexor if you're not feeling it enough with the other options.
Right. So again, you can drop it down to 2 or 3 reps and do it every hour or so, as opposed to doing 10 reps. You're going to get those hips stretched out. Doing this is going to remind you to be up. Remember, neck, shoulders, hips. Neck, shoulders, hips. Do these every day. They'll become habit for you, and you'll really notice. And people are going to say, "You're looking younger these days." But there's better news yet.
There is.
Yes, you can look younger, like we mentioned. 100% of the time, you will look younger if you do this simple little exercise. What is it, Mike?
It's smiling.
How many muscles? 13 muscles to smile. Guaranteed, everyone looks better when they smile. So make sure you're smiling, being happy. It's contagious. Goes around from person to person, guaranteed. How many muscles to frown?
47.
Yeah, so make life easier and smile. All right, I'm going to give you a quick example of the whole niche routine. So neck, we're going to do the chin tucks 2 or 3 times. maybe over pressure if you want. That's it. Then we're going to walk through the door. We're going to stretch. Oh, and it feels good as well. The more flexible you get, the higher you get. I'm done with that. And now we're going to do the W's for strengthening, shoulders back, chin tuck in. It's all adding together. We're going to stretch the hips. 1, 2, and then 3, and you can be done unless you want to get more aggressive and do the lunges here. Make sure you're holding on to something if you feel a little unsteady. And that's it. I'm done. I think that took 22 seconds. No big deal. But wait, there's more.
If you want to check out more videos on how to look younger, check out the video link on the screen.
There you go. And you can't go wrong with this one. It's got 3 more secrets, I think. Well, Bob and I did that one about 3 years ago. So
Going back behind my door.
There you go. Take care, everyone. Be careful.
Bob and Brad, the 2 most famous physical therapists on the internet.